What is up, BattleBots, Robot Wars, and BuggleBots fans alike? Hardcore Kid here with a new episode of the Hardcore Podcast. We're halfway through the season of BattleBots 2019, and now we've reached the Desperado Tournament, a tournament designed for any bots that are falling behind, any 0-2 or 1-1 bots who want to get into the top 16, and this is the way to do it. So, joining me, he just made his big return from Otakon. It's Otaku Nate.
Well, thank you very much, Brandon. I had a nice, good time at Otakon. I was looking forward to recording this episode since the Desperado Tournament was pretty good. So, while I was away, I'm pretty sure that you organized some pretty big-name guests for us this week.
Yeah?
Yeah, you know, like people who were on the show and stuff.
Yeah, we got people on the show like, let's see. We
You
have...
didn't book it. You didn't get any guests, did you?
I don't know. It's the middle of the week.
See, Brandon, this is why I'm the brains behind this podcast, man. I'm the one who's always reaching out and talking to all these guests and seeing if they can come on the podcast or not. This is why you can't do this thing without me, you know, because you're useless. You're absolutely useless when it comes to getting guests, man.
Well, on the bright side, at least you're stuck with us idiots again.
Oh, I was holding that in all week.
Weren't you saving that promo for Russo?
No.
All right. Yeah, so joining us, we have a very special guest with us today. It's, who do we have as a special guest? Let's see, it's Ray Billings!
Hi, this is Ray Billings. I am the captain of Tombstone.
And we have the big boss man guy from the Mad Kitty team.
Martin Mason.
Martin Mason.
I just ate a cracker!
No, it's Ian Miller, a.k.a. Resettis Replicas and Ryan Beaver joining us.
Hey.
Hey, it's good to have you guys back on. What you been up to?
Still procrastinating on my robots, as usual.
Well, any events you're looking forward to?
Well, I can't make it to Franklin this year, which kind of sucks. These past few weeks have been kind of fun, though. I got to go to a G-Fest, which is always fun. Got to see Iron Maiden in concert.
Excellent!
And I will also be attending my first and last BronyCon as well.
Be careful. I hear Chris Chan's going, too.
Yeah. Get to spend Saturday surrounded by neckbeards and fursuits. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Speaking of events, this weekend, Nate and I are going to be going to Texas for the Texas Robot Rebellion in Rockwall, Texas. So, definitely looking forward to that. And the weekend after that, yes, I have 2 events this month I'm going to. The weekend after that, if Mondo is still in one piece, I'll be going to the Norwalk Havoc event in Norwalk, Connecticut. That's where you can win a golden dumpster filled with $1,000. So
in cash.
In cash. So
well, given what I spent at Otakon last week, I could use those dollars.
Don't worry. I hear JMO's not competing this time, so I have a good chance. But yeah, so.
Hey Nate, you should enter and go with Brandon.
Yeah,
well, I am going.
Yeah, he's going to be. We actually have an idea for the Texas event. We're booking him and Mark Elam in a controller on a pole match, and whoever wins gets to drive Hailstone.
Controller on a pole. Wait, what's that?
It's basically you attach the remote control on a string attached to a pole. And then you have to wrestle the other guy in order to get the controller.
Pole matches have been going on since the 80s.
Okay, I thought it was going to be a contest to see who could pole dance better.
Nate versus Mark in a pole dancing match would be...
oh, God, no.
I'd have to bleach my eyes after witnessing such terror.
Yeah, that would cause me to advocate for nuking the state of Texas off the map.
So... With that said, we might as well get on to serious matters. If I could be serious for a minute, we have the Desperado, aka the Despacito Tournament, episode 8 of BattleBots. Well, you know Nate, he loves to call it the Despacito Tournament.
Well, it's thanks to Scorpios for that moniker.
Yeah. Oh, so this episode features a bunch of mid to low tier machines and Minotaur and Black Dragon, and when there were matches between good bots, it was good, but then when you had matches against bots that are just like limping and falling apart, it was not so good, unfortunately. So, Nate, you said you liked this episode. I liked parts of it. I love them. I love the final. The final.
Without question.
It is match of the year worthy. But before we talk about the main card, we have a bonus match to talk about. We have Razor versus Petunia versus Marvin, and I'm gonna say this right now. Like, one of the hardcore Robot Wars fans' dream match is Razor versus Hypnodisc, and watching this match, I think this is like, sure, Petunia is a lot bigger than Razor, and Marvin doesn't have the kind of bite that Hypnodisc does, but I think if Hypnodisc and Razor did have a match, this is probably what it would look like. Like, Hypnodisc would get some hits in, but then Razor would no sell at all, just grab a hold of Hypnodisc and bite into it, and that's basically what this match was.
Yeah, it's pretty much a pinch and grab match from Petunia. Marvin did get a few good hits in, grinding up the wedge. But honestly, Petunia had this one, and I put Petunia's weapon on the prove it list. I don't know if this is enough to get it off. It may need one or two more matches.
Yeah, I mean, it did a good showing here. They actually managed to puncture right through the aluminum, and and also, I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of Marvin's hinged teeth.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not a fan of that UHMW disc either.
To be fair, the disc held up. It's just the teeth that just keep breaking right off.
Yeah,
well, metal
hate
and
themselves
plastic.
are weak.
Metal and plastic mesh about as well as vinegar and baking soda.
Why? It makes a nice explosion. Yeah. Ian, what do you have anything to say about this match?
Well, I think Marvin's disc, I think Hal said in the AMA that it was meant to go for all 3 minutes, like sort of be the Timex watch of spinning discs. Yeah, the idea his claim was that his hinged teeth were unbreakable because they would just kind of use their hinges to just shoot. Just rather than absorb the energy, just kind of flip away from it, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I've been pulling for that robot because all of Hal's designs are just so cool.
Yeah. Ryan, what did you think of? Did you see the bonus match?
Yeah, I did. You sent it to me, and it was okay. I like the idea behind Marvin, but I think in practice it really isn't that great of an idea. But then again, I haven't built a 250-pound robot, so I can't say a whole lot. But
yeah,
I will say though, I do really still like Petunia. It was a bit of a boring fight, but I will say that that right now it's tied between Petunia and Quantum of who's the better crusher. But I would say probably Petunia is probably still the best crusher because it's probably the most durable of all of them.
Yeah, and as far as endurance goes, defense wise, it has that nice big wedge to absorb all those horizontal spinner hits. As far as offensive power, I'd say Quantum because it has much more bite. But at least Petunia is able to get the crusher out of the opponent.
Yeah. But I guess I would say that while Spectre / Quantum is the better crusher, I will say that I think that Petunia may be the better bot because there's a better balance between crushing ability and as well as maneuverability and being able to take a hit. But
it is also a lot more durable than Quantum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, at the end of the day, though, I still have respect for each and every builder who comes here because, they actually built a robot, unlike me.
Takes a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and moolah to build monstrosities like these. But, yeah, solid win for Petunia. And now we'll move on to the main card, starting off with a match straight out of Robo Games, Minotaur versus Lucky.
I wanted this match to be a lot closer than it was, but it just seems that Lucky's having serious steering issues, worse steering even than Bronco.
It seems like that they said that they were having radio issues, and it looks like they're still occurring, because the flipper kept going off randomly, and it just seemed like they put extra armor to put on the sides to protect it from the drum spinner. I think they need to extend the flipper more so that they're able to get underneath Minotaur and flip him up, because
I think they just need a better drive system, really.
Yeah, because I believe that they said they're using featherweight wheels, like the wheels you'd see off of a featherweight, and I'm like, goodness me, that's like sticking light flight wheels on a lightweight. It's ridiculous. Yeah, like Lucky is a good bot, but it just doesn't seem to be working. And this machine came runner-up in the Desperado Tournament last year, and it beat Gigabyte. It managed to do well, but now it just seems to be complete pants. Things just haven't gone right for them.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, like, those wheels, man, I think are their big downfall. Like, it just doesn't seem to have any grip or traction.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, if they were using, like, foam wheels like Duck has, maybe, but yeah, it just seems like nothing's gone right for Lucky this year.
You could say they're unlucky.
Oh.
Now, I will say, normally I don't like backseat building. I really don't. But one idea I think that Lucky could benefit from, I think the reason they're using that setup is because I think the flipper takes up a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking maybe instead of using the 4 tiny motors, just use 2 big motors and just 2 large wheels, and then just focus on just having a really solid anti-spinner robot.
Yeah,
it could work, but
I don't know. I'm not Lucky's owner, so I get jack shit saying this.
Yeah. Like, as far as Minotaur goes in this match, like, they were 0-2 at this point. That they were definitely struggling. And, like, I think it was Marcus has said before that they worked on this thing for 16 hours straight.
Yeah.
Trying to get Minotaur working again. It's like,
well,
good Lord.
It was worth it.
Yeah, Minotaur's back, baby. That's really all I can say.
Time.
Yeah, they seem to be having slight issues there. Like, you can see there was a lot of smoke coming from the belts.
Yeah. Belts looked like they were on too tight.
Yeah, but compared to how it was doing the rest of the season, they're working a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, and I'm happy. Minotaur was my pick to win last season, and they were my pick to win this Desperado tournament, and they lost both. Yeah.
It has not been a good year for flippers, save for Hydra.
Yeah, but
I'm still... Come on, guys. Do the smart thing. Do what we all want to see. Bring in one of the UK wedge flippers.
Good Lord. I'm just imagining, like, Apollo or Eruption in the arena.
If you've seen the new King of Bots episode,
oh my God.
Alan Young entered a new version of Vulcan, and it's basically like a steampunk version of Apollo with giant smokestacks sticking out the side.
It looks beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
I have not seen any of the recent King of the Bots episodes. In fact, I haven't even seen the first or the first season of King of the Bots.
I'm going to tell you as far as robots to look out for, Mr. Rossetti.
Yeah.
You want to look out for this little robot called the Martian.
Wait, is that the robot I've been seeing on the Facebook groups? It's literally just like this little walking machine.
Yes,
walking machine with like a little spinning
brilliant.
base on it or something.
Yeah, the best part is that the English-speaking judge goes for it, meaning we get a full explanation of how it works in English.
Yeah, I forget her name, but I just like to call her Raven, just because she looks like Raven, without the chakra on her forehead. Yeah, but that's me. King of Bots is a good show, minus the numerous editing and graphics and all kinds of insanity. But if you don't have epilepsy and you just empty your brain for a bit, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, so I will say that at least getting back on track, Minotaur versus Lucky, I would say overall it's a pretty decent fight. Lucky had some kinks to work out. The best hit of the fight though is when Lucky goes upside down, flipped himself back over, and landed the flipper right smack dab in the middle of the drum and the robot.
That was awesome.
Yeah, too bad they spoiled that in the opening montage.
Yeah, well,
I wasn't paying attention to it, so it gets a pass from me.
You should do what Mr. Psycho does. Instead of watching the opening montage, go cook an omelet or something. Yeah. Any last words on Minotaur versus Lucky?
I do actually. I think people are being too hard on Lucky. I think honestly that Lucky is the only kind of flipper bot that could potentially win the giant nut in this field of destructive spinners.
I think Hydra could do it.
Well, I mean,
maybe.
I'm big on Hydra.
Like maybe, but we'll have to see when Hydra gets its trial by fire against a real powerful spinner. Like we haven't seen it take out a Minotaur yet, and I think really having that big wall of armor in front like Lucky does, and the puncher tucked away behind it is the only way that a flipper is going to get the consistent results that they need to take out all challengers.
But Ian, don't you know they did have their trial by fire? They fought free shipping.
Dang.
Exactly. Yeah, but Minotaur gets the win, which I'm happy. And then we move on to the Battle of Brazil versus America with Captain Shredderator versus Black Dragon. I do have my pick for the John Reed good hit of the night, and it does go to Captain Shredderator for that beautiful hit it landed on Black Dragon that sent it flying across the arena.
And it just pinballed across the arena.
It was beautiful.
That was beautiful.
Unfortunately, it's Captain Shredderator, so...
Yep.
Right after that big hit, the receiver dies on it again. And, at first I thought, holy crap, the captain might actually win this match. No, Black Dragon just gyroed back onto its wheels, and Captain Shredderator just completely died.
Yeah, I will say that him gyroing back on his wheels, I guess my mom really isn't used to the whole gyroing thing with drums. So when she saw that, she flipped out, thought it was like the coolest thing ever.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
that gyro dance was so perfect.
Yeah.
Have you got a Shremek? Of course we have!
Hey, if it works, it works. I will say that out of all of the, as I would quote, generic vertical spinners out there, Black Dragon's probably my favorite.
Oh, without question.
I mean, I love the design, that drum beater let thing. The mascot is wonderful. I love it.
Yes.
Apparently they won that thing in a crane game.
I know they deserve the nut.
It's their lucky duck.
They deserve the nut just for winning one of those fucking things.
Yeah.
And of course, they have a really cool theming with the dragon and the flamethrower and whatnot. So
we didn't see the flamethrower this time around.
Yeah, they probably took it off to make room for the attachments. Plus, it probably got damaged after the Texas Twister fight. But overall, I'd say that Black Dragon is probably my favorite of all the generic vertical spinners.
Mine is Railgun Max, but Black Dragon's not a bad pick either.
Yeah, I mean, also I'm a huge fan of monsters, so Dragon.
Of course. Yeah.
But I think that's, if I were to do a generic vertical spinner again, it would probably be something like Black Dragon.
Yeah, Black Dragon, the Brazilians, they don't mess around when they do this kind of sport. You there? But yeah, we're here. But
okay.
Oh boy. Yeah, the Brazilians, they don't mess around with these kinds of with this sport, because Minotaur is a good bot. And I'm very happy that they're bringing more of the Brazilian teams into BattleBots, because if you've seen Robo games, you've seen bots like the General and all those other big spinners. These things are monsters, and and seeing Black Dragon Black Dragon for me is the should I say the dark horse, the dark dragon of the tournament, because just the fact that it beat Minotaur, it's a very solid bot. I think it's capable of winning this whole event.
Well,
if they keep going.
we'll discuss that when we get to the top 16. But mine, as I said, my pick is Hydra.
Ah, all right. Yeah, but
I'm still pulling for Sawblaze.
yeah, let's go, JMO.
Let's
Yeah,
go,
but-
JMO.
Honestly, I feel like they'd be kind of a hilarious and kind of insulting to Minotaur if Black Dragon won the whole event. Because, Minotaur was like the first Brazilian team on there, and they're like the first like real contender for the nut, and then just Black Dragon comes along and takes the whole thing. I feel that'd actually be kind of funny to me.
Oh,
I mean, Black Dragon earned the right to be there. Like, they were competing alongside
no.
Toro on Robo Games the whole time.
I do agree that, but I'm just thinking like, as far as the show goes, I don't know. It's just funny to me. But it's,
I mean, if I were Minotaur, I'd be like, cool, I lost to the best robot there, and I'm still from the country that has the best robots.
Yeah.
But Captain Shredderator, man, they really need to fix their issues because
it's like they've had all kinds of wacky issues with this bot. Between the receiver dying, apparently they're using magnets to keep it on the wheels, and apparently the magnets are just tearing the whole robot apart. We saw there were pieces, like entire pieces, flying off of Captain Shredderator after that hit, and it's like I'm afraid this thing's about to explode at any second, and then it just died completely. And it's such a shame because like Brian and Nick, like I said, they're a great team. They've been in this sport like forever. They've been in every televised robot combat show ever. And where do you go from here? How do you recover from this?
I don't know. But I will say though that their performance in this match really was America's ass.
You can say that again. So
I could, but I don't want to.
So Black Dragon gets the win, and now we move on to Endgame versus Gruff. I was looking forward to this match. And
Yeah.
Floorgate. It turned into a cripple fight that ended with Floorgate striking again.
God, this fight made me so freaking sad. Gruff is easily one of my favorite robots this season due to its aesthetic, its design, and I love the good flipper and just kick-ass flamethrower, and the kills. The arena wins again.
And you can't even blame the seam in the floor here. They just straight up got stuck in the kill saw slot.
damn it.
Yeah. But even up to that point, I don't think Gruff would have won the match because even though Endgame was limping, they were still delivering hits to Gruff.
Yeah.
Gruff, I don't recall them actually using the weapon. I know they used the wedge a few times, but on damage, I would have given it to Endgame. But I don't know. Like the match itself, some people like this match more than I did. I think I thought it was a very slow match, and it's between two bots that weren't in the best of shape. Because Endgame, they lost. Was that one of the weapon belts that flew off?
Yeah.
Endgame also is Becky 2 belts, it seems. But yeah, it was just two bots limping around until finally Gruff just got its fork stuck in the kill slot, and that was it basically.
Yeah.
It sucks, but you know what? I'm happy that Endgame actually got a win. Because if they were to lose again, I'd be like, for crying out loud. Because it's a good bot, but the whole it's just been falling apart this season. But I don't know.
I still really like Gruff. I am curious though of considering its drive issues, I'm still wondering whether the drive, like the motors, got effed up, or if the whole frame was actually warped on that first hit.
But I'd like to think that something got warped. You guys never asked me what my thoughts are on this fight.
Go on.
Oh well, what are your thoughts?
Well, personally, I think that of the first round fights, this one was the best, ignoring the whole floor gate thing. But it was very much back and forth. But it's really, as it went on, things just got really ugly.
Yeah. Well,
Endgame had trouble controlling itself. Gruff seemed to be having drive issues. I'm sure if we got the Gruff guys on, they'd explain it, but I don't know.
Ian, what'd you think of this match?
I was pulling for Gruff just on the virtue of them not being a wedge vertical spinner, to be honest, and because I met the team personally in North Carolina, and they were really nice to me. Yeah, sadly things didn't go their way, and I mean it's disappointing that the floor got them because they weren't a wedge in the traditional sense of the, more wedgy wedges that, in my opinion, kind of knew what they were getting into when they got stuck.
Yeah. To be fair, Gruff, it's still 1-1 in the main competition, so they still have 2 more matches. Who knows? They might have a chance.
I think they can squeak in.
Yeah.
They need 2 more good wins.
Yeah.
As long as they can prove themselves, I think they have a shot.
Yeah, we'll find out. But yeah, Endgame gets the win, and we move on to the other Avengers character, or whatnot. Ragnarok versus Warhawk.
I mean, at least Ragnarok lasted for more than 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's a positive.
I felt so bad for Tim after this fight. He just looked like he was so done after all this crap.
Yeah. And this was a match that Ragnarok could have won, because Warhawk, this was right after they got trisected, so to speak. And in this match, they were just held on by flex glue, and it wasn't working at all. Ragnarok managed to get some quote-unquote hits in with the axe. The axe wasn't working all that much. It would go, but then it would stop and then just tap the lid, you're just giving a little finger poke. But yeah, Warhawk wasn't driving well, and then something came out of Ragnarok. I don't know if it was a speed controller or what, but
it looked like it was just one of its little decorations.
No, because there was something electronic definitely popped out there.
Like that little thing that came out. I don't know if it was electronic. I actually think it was the rubber stop for his hammer. So
that's what I was thinking too.
I don't know, but because Ragnarok, as solid as it is, Tim had a good Tim needs to, when you're facing a big spinner like Warhawk, you need to stay away from the disc, and Ragnarok kept driving into the disc and kept getting hits and losing points, and this was I'm gonna be fair to both teams, but this was not a good match.
No, it wasn't.
I did not like this
Tim
match.
Apparently was having radio problems with the axe because he did a whole lot of testing before this fight.
Yeah, and then the big climax came where Ragnarok pushed Warhawk towards the screws, but in the process, he ends up running into the disc. The disc sends Ragnarok flying through the air.
Oh, that was one of my picks for the good hit of the night.
We get 10 different camera shots. I think Kevin Dunn was the one who edited this episode.
Oh.
And Ragnarok is KO'd. And Tim is just done at this point. This was not a good match. What does it tell you when the best robot in the match was the mini-bot?
Oh, God bless me. I love War Stop.
Oh, dear Lord.
I've never loved a 4-wheel drive wedge as much as I have with this guy.
I still can't believe what motors they're using in this tiny little thing to be able to push a giant 250-pound robot around like that. Hook me up with those motors.
Although I'm sure it also has something to do with the magnets, too.
I'm not sure. Magnets don't stick to that sort of thing.
Well, you could just tell by the way it drives how stiff the movement is. They have magnets. You can just tell by the way it's very stiff in its driving.
Yeah. It's in a way it makes War Stop heavier. I think I think it was Russ Barrow or whoever who said he had to take the magnetic wheels off because it was actually putting on weight when it went onto the scale or something. It's weird how that happens, but yeah, this match was no good. Yeah. You guys have anything left to say about this match? Because I don't.
Just that it hurt to see Tim's bot once again not perform as he wanted it to.
I know.
You know what he needs to do? He needs to bring back AU Thumper.
Oh, yeah.
He needs to make a 250-pound version of the Tim Rackers experience.
Spank the monkey. That'd be money.
That would not get onto American TV.
Yeah. We banned Kinder Eggs, so we're pretty sensitive.
Kinder Eggs, boxing the bishop, digging the ditch, cracking the skull, doing the Tim. So Ragnarok gets KO'd, Warhawk gets the win. Now we move on to a match that I was looking forward to. It's Minotaur versus Endgame. And I was looking forward to this match based on the fact that it's two powerful disc spinners going against each other. And really, what it all came down to, Minotaur was better controlled. Endgame was gyroing all over the place, which left them vulnerable. And that allowed Minotaur to just come in, rip off all their wedgelets, jam them up onto the screws, and Endgame is just getting eaten alive by the screws, and then until eventually it just spews it out, and Endgame tried to keep going, but Minotaur just continued to squish it like a kiwi. And yep, that pretty much sums up that match.
Yep.
Ooh, I haven't had kiwi in so freaking long. Now I'm craving it.
Yeah. Nate, what did you think of this match?
Honestly, this is the match I remember the least about, to be honest. I just remember it was a little close, was a little back and forth, but ultimately Minotaur was the one who got the best of it. So I can't really say much because I don't remember a lot of what happened.
Yeah,
same.
All I wrote in my notes was Endgame loses all its wedgelets and gets screwed.
It got screwed over, and speaking of screwed over...
Oh, good God.
Yeah, let's be honest here, because Warhawk, again, still wasn't working right. So, as soon as Black Dragon just knocked it onto the screws, and apparently when Warhawk landed on the screws, the wiring that powers the screws died or got disconnected, so essentially they killed the screws. They screwed the screws in this match. So Warhawk couldn't get off.
Which makes it even more sad when we actually see their weapon and drive actually working while they're in the screws.
Yeah.
Even if they were able to get off, I don't think they were going to win this match. Because if they were struggling against Ragnarok, they weren't going to do all that well against Black Dragon.
But yeah, this was probably my pick of. This is probably my least favorite fight of the night. But yeah, I felt so bad for Warhawk in this fight. Just that opening bit of just horrendous luck. This is literally just bad luck. The fight, and then of course the most heartbreaking part of all, watching Warstop get launched.
Oh,
I cackled.
I felt so bad for the poor thing.
Ian, what'd you think of this quote-unquote match?
I mean, I have to echo Ryan's sentiments about enjoying seeing the little guy get just turned into chicken soup.
I didn't enjoy it. That was Brandon's sentiment.
My bad.
I don't know. Sometimes those mini-bots can be a bit pesky. And sometimes they must be erased.
I don't know. I kind of, if I get on the show for some godforsaken reason, I would love to have a mini bot. Its name would be Kevin.
You know what I was thinking when, because it's most likely a chance if we ever get to BattleBots, I'm just going to be driving a mini bot. I've had an idea, because if we ever team up with somebody like Sharkoprian or Kraken or some other sea-related robot...
Kraken begins with a K.
So what? I said C as in SEA.
Oh, okay.
It's a homonym. But if we did join those teams or whatnot, we should have mini-bots and name them Freddy and Luther.
Oh, I got that reference.
I did not.
Ian, please
No,
tell
I'm
me you got
stumped.
that reference. Damn it! Yeah, but
What I think we should do is just we all four of us each build our own like 15 to 30 pound mini bot and just apply for different teams.
why don't we just enter like 100 beetle weights?
Well, I'm sure if we could find enough guys at Nurk and Norwalk and stuff like that, I'm sure we could work something out.
Yes.
I mean, like it's I'm just imagining us fighting Tombstone. It's like 80 of us died, but he got stuck on one of them, so that all works out in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Black Dragon gets the win. Warhawk gets its flint wings plucked out. Speaking of plucked, that leads us to our special bonus match featuring the debut of the one and only Derp Six.
Derp Six. Jinx.
Oh, and I gotta say, I was both impressed and disappointed by Deep Six. Impressed in that it actually worked, but it didn't actually hurt the floor.
It's just, this thing is so stupid, and I love it.
Yeah.
This is my kind of robot right here.
It's basically a giant 250-pound drizzle. Just going around, but they actually figured out how to make it stable because they put giant bars on the front and back to make sure it doesn't flop. And axe backwards, God bless Kurt, but at this point his bot is just a jobber machine.
Yeah, I like the idea of axe backwards, but I think it's time that Kurt retire this machine and come back with something new. I do like the little personality that Kurt has developed for himself.
Yeah, he's a surprisingly, between this and the Texas Twister fight, he is a huge sport about watching his robot get thrashed.
And I love that. He knows what he's doing, and he's gonna do it.
I think at this point he kind of knows his robot's kind of a jobber machine. It's just like, okay, let's just see how much damage this thing can take.
Yeah. You know what he probably could do? He probably could take the huge route and just make big UHMW wheels with tire tread on them.
I just want a completely new machine from him. Something that isn't a spinner. Like, maybe he could go the route of like a flywheel-powered launcher or something.
Okay, you just got me thinking of huge, but with axes instead of the spinner.
So basically Gabriel.
Kinda.
More like that old sportsman robot Harold.
Oh my God! I remember Harold.
Oh,
yes,
that's brilliant. Yeah.
Harold the helicopter?
No, Harold the robot.
It was that giant four legs with wheels on the ends with a giant spinning blade in the middle.
Yeah,
like a giant spinning axe.
Man, I need to talk to Brian again. He was a great guy. I genuinely think if he comes back, he should enter a 250-pound Harold onto the show. That'd be great.
That would be awesome. Yes.
Harold the Helichopper.
Oh my lord. Yeah.
I will say though, there's one thing about this fight that no one's really mentioned. This is probably the most innuendo fight in terms of the names of the robots. Deep Six and Axe Backwards.
Oh my lord.
I never caught that because I know that Deep Six means, he's dead. And Axe Backwards is, of course, supposed to be ass backwards, which is referring to somebody's backwards sort of thinking. Like, man, that guy's really ass backwards with his thought process.
Yeah, I know, but I guess you could say he dug deep into his axe.
Oh! Ian! God damn it, Ian!
No, that was Ryan, not Ian. Ian has a refined sense of humor.
Dirty mind.
Nate's gone full Yinzer. Let him have his moment. Ian, anything to say about this match before we move on?
I don't know. I'd say Axe Backwards is becoming sort of like a test platform for unusual robots to show off what they can do. Like that was kind of what they did against Mammoth.
Yeah. You mentioned on Facebook. Apparently, this was an exhibition match.
Yeah, it was. It even said so on the fight card that it was an exhibition match, basically unsanctioned.
Dang it! So I guess this is Deep Six's only appearance, or is there going to be more matches?
I think it is their only appearance.
Damn it! I don't know. Maybe because I really wanted to see the floor get punished. But yeah. Although I do question if it still works after it caught fire after the match. But yeah. Like I wrote here in my notes, Deep Six works, and now it's on fire. Yeah, it's a shame, but yeah, Deep Six gets the win, and now we get the best match on the show, and yet another match of the year contender. It's the Battle of Brazil versus Minotaur and Black Dragon. This match ruled.
Can I just say that this match, as much controversy as this tournament had, and we'll probably talk about who we would have put in the tournament after we finish, I just wanted to say this more than made up for all the BS tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a match between two very talented guys from Brazil. They're battle-hardened. They know what it takes to build championship-winning bots. And just seeing them go out and exchange hits with each other, this was a slobber knocker, and I loved it. But what it all really came down to was Black Dragon had the wedge, so it was able to get underneath Minotaur and just throw him around. And, yeah, it's a shame because, again, I want to see Minotaur win something in this show. That they had it either the giant nut or the giant bolt. Give these guys some hardware, but it was not to be. And I will say the judge's decision at the very end, that was the first time I've ever seen Daniel Freitas look actually terrified. Like he had
really?
I did bad.
It's like he wasn't even sure if he had won this match or not.
Feeling that if I was one of the judges, as soon as that fight ended, I just would have turned to the camera and went, "Well, fuck."
We love Danny Freitas and his many faces, but you can tell that he was not happy.
Yeah, you know how mad he was? Did you see that picture of him putting the duck into a vice? Oh.
Danny Freitas doesn't even say anything on the show, and yet he is one of the guys with the most personality.
Yeah.
Daniel Freitas, I'm going to be honest about Daniel. He scares the living shit out of me. I feel like if for some reason we ever got on the show and had to fight Minotaur, I would legit be more scared of him than his robot.
During the hero shot, you just walk right out of the camera.
I would have legitimately I feel like if he doesn't, I feel like that if they just ended up retiring Minotaur and just entered Daniel Freitas with a hammer, he probably just did the whole thing.
So he'd say he's scarier than Ray Billings?
Are you kidding me? Like, if you were to put me in a room with Tombstone at full speed and Daniel Freitas just with nothing, I would take my chances with Tombstone.
You know how they have those giant faces of the robot builders with the evil red eyes?
Yeah.
I hope someone makes one of them with Dan's face.
Oh God, that would be like nightmare fuel right there.
Oh God!
You know what? That's gonna be the thumbnail of this episode. Is gonna be the Paul Ventimiglia, Don Hudson, and Ray Billings with the evil faces.
Oh, why don't you make one of a Daniel?
I don't know.
His Photoshop skills are less than 0. That's why.
You send me a good photo, I'll do it myself.
All right.
Send him a good photo of Danny Freitas and just give him the big flashy red eyes.
I'll do that.
I'll do more than that.
Yeah. So yeah, that pretty much covers this episode. But Black Dragon got the win, and I will say, like a part of me is a little sad that Minotaur lost, but hey, Black Dragon, this is a new rookie team. I mean, they're not new to the sport, of course, but it's their first time on BattleBots.
I was gonna say the best way I would describe this match is that it's a passing of the torch.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the apprentice beat the master, you could say.
So I was very happy that Black Dragon won this. Like I said, Black Dragon's probably my favorite of the one of my favorite vertical spinners this year. And I think they definitely deserve the win, especially with that their driving ability in this fight was incredible. So yeah, I was very happy that Black Dragon ended up winning.
Ian, what do you think?
I think it's really something that is this the first time this season that we've seen a robot with a broken weapon beat a robot with a functioning one?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, if not, it's certainly close to it.
I mean, this is essentially a repeat of Scorpios and Ice Wave.
Yeah.
Last season.
Yeah, I mean, except Black Dragon had less ability to just eat the spinning hits head on.
Yeah.
Like they had to drive for it, had to work for it.
Which I actually think makes the victory even more sweet.
Yeah, this is definitely between this match and Blacksmith versus Scorpios. These are my picks for match of the year so far. So,
wait, Blacksmith and Scorpios?
Not Scorpios.
No, Blacksmith and Sawblaze.
Sawblaze.
Okay.
Wrong dustpan bot. Yeah, but definitely a great match. Like as far as the episode goes, like there were a lot of cripple matches on the show, and it isn't the builders' fault. They were definitely struggling. That's why they entered the Desperado Tournament. They wanted to at least have some chance of being able to get a win, maybe get on to the top 16. And unfortunately, a lot of the bots just they either got blown up or just weren't in shape for it.
And I think for some of the robots like Captain Shredderator and Ragnarok, this was just kind of the nail in the coffin at this point.
Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it a 6.
I'm going to be a little more generous with this because while the bad fights were bad, the good fights were incredibly good. I even liked the Deep Six versus Axe backwards machine.
Oh, that was great.
That was great.
I'm going to give this episode an 8.
Okay. Ryan, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
7.5. It loses half a point for killing Warstop. But this is definitely probably one of the weak. Let me put it this way, though. This is probably one of the weaker episodes of the whole season. But considering what the fights we did end up getting, that should really say something really good about the season as a whole. Because I would say this season has actually been incredible.
Oh, I definitely agree with that.
So if this ends up being the worst episard of the season, that is not a bad thing in the slightest.
I would say episode 3 was the worst in terms of quality.
All right, which one was that again? I'm sorry.
That was the one. What was the main event of that one? Shoot, I'm blanking on it.
I don't remember.
But it was one where it was the one that had Monsoon versus Ragnarok as one of the fights. I know.
Yeah, that wasn't good. But Ian, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this episode?
I'm going with a 9 on this one.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah, I thought
Holy
the action
moly.
was incredible. I thought that the most deserving robots ended up winning. And, of course, Minotaur making a triumphant return was something I definitely didn't expect going into this. Overall, I really liked what I saw.
Yeah, and honestly, I personally think that even though they didn't win the Desperado, I still think Minotaur is almost a shoo-in at this point for the top 16 if they can do well in their last 2 fights.
Yeah, if they can get everything sorted out, they should be good. Otherwise, I think they're going to be out. But as I said earlier, Minotaur is one of those robots that I don't think I would ever put on the prove it list, simply because we know what they can do, and this year just feels like it's an aberration for them.
Yeah, and honestly, they still got 2 really solid wins in this tournament alone, and that should really, shine with the selection committee. So as long as they can really pull their stops with their last few fights, they should be a shoo-in for the top 16.
I wanted to ask you the guys, though, because were you happy with the selection of robots in this tournament? And
I did find it a bit questionable how there were bots like Gruff and Black Dragon in it because Black Dragon especially, I think that they wouldn't have needed the Desperado Tournament given how good their bot is. I mean, they had a good performance in the last 2 matches they had, and
I mean,
I don't know.
And even though they lost to Texas Twister, they still did a fantastic job in that fight.
Yeah, without question.
And Gruff has been doing really solid overall.
Yeah, they had a good match. Who did they face in their last match? It was
they faced
Railgun Max, not Railgun Max.
No, Railgun Max. They faced Copperhead.
Copperhead, yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, that was weird, but yeah, I think it was a bit predictable. I think I knew it was going to come down to the 2 Brazil bots. So, but with that said, there were some negatives here and there, but yeah, I enjoyed the main event and some of the matches too. So now with that said, it is now Shark Week, as we were obviously shown throughout the entire episode as the Shark Week logo kept floating around in the top right screen the entire time.
That was distracting at all.
Yeah.
Shark! That commercial with the damn fish.
Somebody tell Ed Robinson Snookums got loose.
Shark!
The guys at BattleBots actually paid a huge joke on that. They had Shark Opry hanging on the wall like the Jaw Shark with one of the Vasquez boys standing next to it.
Nice.
That was great.
Yeah, but so that means there's no BattleBots this week, which is fine. But that's fine because since Nate and I are going to be going to Texas, we won't be able to do any reviews for the next week. But BattleBots is airing right about now, so we should be able to watch the bonus match tonight.
I thought there was no bonus match for the next few weeks.
There is actually a bonus match. It's the 4 Horsemen versus
Extinguisher.
Extinguishers.
Oh, nice. Yeah, what happened was they they pushed back all the Science Channel viewings by a week, so
because of the 4th of July.
Yeah.
It was originally supposed to be a 2-month break, but
2-month break.
The show's doing so well with the ratings that it's Discovery Channel's highest rated show, apparently.
Yep, and let's hope it stays on Discovery Channel for at least until we're able to build our own heavyweights.
Hashtag yes. We want season 5.
Yes.
I have one more question before we go off the air. What robots would you have put in the Desperado Tournament? I'll give you mine.
Okay.
I would have swapped out Captain Shredderator for free shipping.
Right.
And I would have swapped out Gruff for Blacksmith.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh no, or Quantum.
Oh yeah, Quantum definitely.
Choice.
Yeah. Oh, it's tricky for me. I'd probably have Blacksmith too, and who else? Maybe maybe Mad Catter if they were able to get it in. Or
yeah, I would have said Mad Catter just for more Martin Mason.
Yeah.
I think they probably should have replaced Ragnarok, but with Tim kidnapping Daniel Freitas and just giving him the axe.
Yeah, it's not really easy to choose which ones he could have put in, because with the exception of maybe there's only like a couple 0-2 bots, because a lot of the teams right now are 1-1, 2-1. I know Death Roll is 3-0, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not easy to pick. Maybe Duck. I don't know. They're 2-1. Or no, I don't know.
Okay, I really want to see Duck versus Black Dragon now. Who has the better Duck?
Yes!
Oh, Battle of the Ducks.
Whack, whack, whack. Yep, so the next bonus match is Falcon versus Ribot. So we'll see how that
Look,
goes.
Mommy, I'm a Falcon.
Yeah. So,
And considering my school's in that fight, I am going to be very wanting to see that.
yeah.
I can we just say I love Ribot.
Yeah.
that-
Oh yeah.
That thing is a tank.
Do. Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
cool. So,
If I didn't have a big freaking project I had to do for school this year, I would ask if I could join them.
come on. Well, there's always season 5. Make that a priority.
Well, I would, except for the fact that I have to get through college.
Poo-poo.
You know, and I'm already been in, and this is going to be my 5th year in college, and at this point, I'm just ready to graduate.
All right, get your classes over and done with.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
Maybe-
so yeah. Anything to say? Any plugs? Or are we all good?
Wait, Ian, didn't you want to talk about the Combat Robot Hall of Fame?
Oh yeah.
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 There's the it's that time, huh?
Yep. It's that time of year.
It's about that time.
Yep.
You know,
Probably
oh,
by the
with the rhythm
time
of the
Brandon.
rhyme.
The most wonderful time of the year.
Yep. So probably by the time this video goes live, they'll start accepting nominations for the Hall of Fame, and yeah, and obviously people, if they have strong feelings about a robot, should be lobbying for it before, not after the nomination, not after the results are announced, as some people have done in the past.
If I were to give my picks for the Combat Robot Hall of Fame, right now I have Spectre or Quantum will definitely be on the list because they've managed to combine they've basically combined the tornado pushy design with the Razor Crusher, and it's hands down the best it's the best Crusher bot in my opinion since Razor. It's a gorgeous machine, very well engineered, and I like that.
Wait, if that's the case, then what can they say? Can they say that Razor's overrated, or can they say Tornado cheated, or can they do both?
You had to bring that up, Rossetti.
Hey, why do you keep
Ryan.
calling him
Ryan?
Ross, I don't know. I don't know, man. Okay.
He
Do we
think
sound alike? Because if
it's
that's
been-
the case, that's racist.
he thinks you two have switched souls or something. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
Ryan's the one making all the gross jokes that you can't tell at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yes, I am the one that, I am the one who basically cannot be brought into public.
Nah. And Ian's the guy who shows up with his fancy little crocodile butt.
Yep.
But really, the only one I can think of off the top of my head is Spectre. I can't really think of any other ones.
Oh man.
Silent Spring. Silent Spring
yes.
could be one because JMO is the master of Mark Forged.
And also because he invented a weapon system that can be switched out faster than most people can switch out their wedges.
Yeah, and those are the two ones I can think of right now are Spectre and Silent Spring. How about you, Nate? You got any ideas for any mentions for the Combat Robot Hall of Fame?
That's hard, but I would go with Spectre. I would go with Eruption. And as an honorable mention, Gabriel.
Yes, that sounds about right. Ryan, did you give your picks?
Not yet. I have two on the top that I can think of. Silent Spring and Huge.
Huge.
Oh yeah.
All versions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's an all.
Uh,
Yeah, it's a package deal.
Yeah,
like
I
if one version
think
of Huge
that
did it.
Silent Spring is probably
Hang on, we're losing
one
Ryan.
of the best beta weights in existence right now.
Say that again, because you completely garbled. You there? Ryan? I think we lost Ryan.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You guys...
Oh.
No, I'm here. You guys are, like, really starting to break up on my end, though, so...
Oh,
but,
yeah, start over.
Yeah,
for
I
us.
love... Yeah, I think... I think Silent Spring is easily one of the best and scariest Beetlewaits to date, for how well-built and how efficient it is. Ironically, I would actually put it in over Sawblaze, despite Sawblaze being probably my favorite BattleBot of all time. But that's just because Silent Spring has a massive freaking win record. And I think we need more Beetlewaits in the Hall of Fame. We have no Beetlewaits in the Hall of Fame right now. We have one honorable mention with 3PD, or maybe some other honorable mentions. We have no official Beetlewaits in the Hall of Fame. I feel like that Silent Spring would be a great candidate for the first one.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And huge, well, it's huge. Like, it was such a very creative robot, and the fact they managed to turn this, essentially what people thought was a joke, into a surprisingly competitive robot, that's the kind of, like, stuff we need more of in the sport. It's just this, like, out-of-the-box thinking of, like, let's just put a giant spinner between two wheels and have it actually work.
Yeah, I think they deserve it most for actually what they did in the 30-pound class. Because, like,
I know.
Their dominance comes in the classes where boring wedge bots are allowed, and they just, punished them for being that.
I know, that's like the best. I think that's why the Motorama that Huge first showed up was legendary, because no one was expecting Huge to be that good. And I was shocked, but in the best way.
So far we have Silent Spring, we have Spectre, and we have Huge. Ian, do you have any picks?
Oh, yeah, I do. I want to put Whiplash in there for that awesome driving.
Good.
And the innovative weapon, of course.
Yeah.
Let me see. I have them written down. Let me just get out my notes real quick. Shoot, I'm so sorry.
It's all
I'm
right.
just dropping my notes all over the place.
We have 4 hours and 15 minutes until we're allowed to vote.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Bite Force. That's another one.
Oh, Bite Force,
how
definitely.
Could we forget Bite Force?
Yeah.
Two-time giant nut winner.
Yeah. We definitely got to get them in.
Ian, quick question. How do I vote again?
Mark Jorger will post the announcement in several of the combat robotics groups. Out of courtesy, he's asked. I mean, there's no official gatekeeper, like you have to be a builder to vote, but he's asked as a sort of alternative method of gatekeeping that we not share the link with anyone who cannot find it themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. All right. I think that pretty much covers that. The voting starts in 4 hours and 14 minutes our time. So we'll see who makes it into the Combat Robot Hall of Fame this year, and we may get some surprises. We may get some robots that were expected, some snubs. Yeah, but until next time, I'm the Hardcore Kid.
I'm Otaku Nate.
I'm Ryan Beaver.
And I'm ResettisReplicas.
Peace out, and all my exes live in Texas.
Yeehaw.
Western movies!